for them all day. Trying to find my way. Every day. See my fish struggle, they hustle for pay. Stop on my day, right up my way. Clear the illusions, it clear my way. Every day. See my fish struggle, they hustle for pay. Stop up my day, right up my way. Clear the illusions, it clear my way. You feel my pain. I got blood, I got sweat. Can you feel my pain? I know the niggas on the way. Can you feel my pain? I got my day, let up my way. Yeah. Can you feel my pain? I got blood, I got sweat. Can you feel my pain? I got niggas on the way. Can you feel my pain? From the game on the pain. I got guns like the sign, just a rider. Don't let the player hit the game, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. I grab blood and spread the sign, just a rider. Don't let the player hit the game, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. Riding steady on the fast lane, just a rider. Oh yeah. My pain, I got blood, I got sweat. Can you feel my pain? I know the niggas on the way. Can you feel my pain? I got my chain out of my way. Yeah. Can you feel my pain? I got blood, I got sweat. Can you feel my pain? I got niggas on the way.
This is Blackwood Fire Radio, media, 21st century.
Brandon mentality.
Talk about anything you wanna talk about. Hey, good morning and welcome to the Calmie African Diary Show, and you are tuning to the Blackwood Fire Network media for the 21st century. I was just almost getting to give you a touch of this beautiful, rather chilly Wednesday morning, and the title of the jam was Barua by the one and only Subi. But initially we had played a jam by the one and only Lex the Wolf, and the title of the jam was Rider Mentality, right here on the Blackwood Fire Network media for the 21st century. I hope that everyone is doing okay on this particular Wednesday morning. It is the 12th day of the new month. Of course, I still got to say it is still the new month, as much as we are on the second week, but it is the 12th day, and of course this is the 5th month of the year. So far so good. We are progressing well. Remember, this is the Blackwood Fire Network media for the 21st century, and you can feel free to join me on the show. You can also feel free to give in your views regarding the topic for the day. Remember, on the Calmie African Diary Show, every Wednesday we get to talk about history. We get to really take a look at what did get to happen, and some of this history is just still part and parcel of what you do get to live on a daily basis, or rather interact with on a daily basis. So feel free to that is interact with me and get to give me your view regarding the topic for the day. And moving on from that, remember, you can simply get logged onto www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. And once you are logged in, you can proceed and get to watch these videos. You can get to share these videos. You can also get to like these videos. And also another thing that you can get to do is you can proceed and get to listen to the music, because trust me, we have been talking about the importance of listening to some good music. That is what we are all about. And also, last but not least, you can get to donate at Mr. Cash App. That is by simply logging onto www.black.fa network. Habari za asubuhi. Let me start with that. Habari za asubuhi. And as much as it is a chilly weather, and yesterday, actually, the most part of the day, that in terms of yesterday, it was just raining. It was not an easy day. And I just been asking myself, I think this month, this particular May month, looks more like April than April looked like itself, because last month we did get to experience, rainfall, but it was not this severe. In that most of the time it used to rain at night, but on this new month we get to experience rainfall from any time of the day, from morning. Actually, maneuvering from point A to B is quite hectic, because 1 minute it is raining, the other minute you're not even sure whether you need to carry your umbrella and so on, whether you need to be warm. The next minute it is sunny. But so far this month, I'm talking about May, it's more like May has exchanged its characteristics with April. Because if you ask someone who was in Kenya, like let me maybe 2 years ago, they'll think that this is still April, but then again it is May. But we do not get to really get disturbed by that, because if anything, let me just say, everything happens for a reason. Karibuni sana to the Calmie African Diary Show. This is the Blackout Fire Network, media for the 21st century. And of course, we'll get to proceed to enjoy some of the jams. But before that, I love to remind us, now that I do understand that we do have some of the listeners from the diaspora, I would love to remind us of these. One great quote that actually says, this is of course just it is all good to remind ourselves of some of the facts, some of the realities about life, because at the end of the day, a lot of people are really going through a lot of depression. A lot of people are really going through a lot, but do not have someone that they can get to talk to. And I'd love to tell you one thing, that it all begins and ends in your mind. Let me start afresh. It all begins and ends in your mind. What you give power to has power over you if you allow it. Let me repeat this for those who might be in a situation. And in this particular situation, perhaps you feel that, hey, it is going to be too tricky for me to get out of this situation. I feel like, I think the world is judging me. I think no one is really going to understand me, and the things like that. But let me tell you, it all begins and ends in your mind. Whichever channel that you do get, to prepare your mind is how things are definitely gonna be. So it all begins and ends in your mind, and what you give power to has power over you if you allow it. If you get to give a power over a lot of negativity, trust me, it is going to weigh you down, and that is why you do have a lot of people going through a depression. That is a quote of the day as we get to start the show. And remember, my name is Calmie, and this is the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. And also another thing, before we even get to read that, let me just get to appreciate eyes. Okay, let me just get to read this correctly. Eyes are Damar Jewel. Okay, let me just call you Jewel, because getting to read this is quite hectic. But you have said, a grand rising, my beloved chosen one, who's born gifted in the face, image, likeness, a resemblance of a moon, the invisible one, who knew you before your flesh had formed bonds, beloved above angels. Wow, thank you so much, Jewel, and Karibu Sana to the Calmie Africana Diary Show. That is indeed a great way to start the morning. And I thank you so much for also choosing the Black Hot Fire Network media for the 21st century. Now, before we even get to jam to some great music, I stumbled upon something. There's some words we keep on saying on a daily basis, but we do not really know the impact of these words. That there are some things, it could be rituals that we get to practice on a daily basis, and some of these practices we just did get to find them existing, but we have not taken our time to really research on it. And that is why yesterday I was talking about in terms of a spirituality on this particular church in Nigeria, where you have to wear a white cloak and just step down and get to spray yourself with the spiritual perfume. And as a result, one person, one billionaire actually did get to die in the process, because we all know that perfumes are highly flammable. So that is in terms of researching into what you're really putting yourself into. But have you ever asked yourself, about the true meaning of a hurricane? Sometimes back, Keith has been talking about the hurricane, the images of the, different images of the shape of the hurricanes, some going clockwise, some going anti-clockwise. And I stumbled upon this. I do not know if it is true, so feel free to correct me. Also, feel free to give in your views regarding it. That did you know that the hurricane, or rather, let me spell it as the Her, hurricane, is the spirit of the African woman who has been stolen, beaten, raped, murdered, and thrown overboard the slave ships, that is en route to enslaved lands. Let me repeat this. And of course, like I've told you, right here on the Blackwood Fire Network, we get, of course, to engage with one another. So feel free to give in your views regarding this if you think this fact is correct. But this is a fact that I stumbled upon. That's the true meaning of the word hurricane. We've been having different types of hurricanes affecting people. I think that the last time I had was it Hurricane Eloise or something like that, something close to that. That the true meaning of the word hurricane comes from the word hurricane, her meaning, a feminine. That this is the spirit of an African woman who has been stolen, beaten, raped, murdered, and thrown overboard the slave ships. That is en route to the enslaved lands. And that is why all hurricanes start at the same point of exodus of Africa, the post of the Atlantic slave trade, and hit every stop where slaves were sold. I think there is some truth to this entire quote, because I remember the last time we were in Tanzania, for our friends who were back in Zanzibar, they were almost experiencing the same, but it didn't get to happen. And yes, of course, Zanzibar is a coastal town, so there could be some truth to this. But let me know your views regarding this fact that the hurricane is the African woman who has been stolen from her home, beaten, raped, of course, tortured, and thrown overboard. So this is the spirit of an African woman who has gone through all that. And most of the time it gets to happen at the coastal places where all this did get to take place. Do you believe that this fact is true? Hit me up right here on the Calmie Africana Diary Show. And of course, remember, this is the Blackwood Fire Network, media for the 21st century. Let's get to jump to some more music as we keep it the Blackwood Fire Network, media for the 21st century. The title of the jam is Subi, and the title of the jam is Barua, by the one and only Subi, playing right here on the Blackwood Fire Network.
Talk about love, talk about life, talk about anything you wanna talk about. Yeah. Talk about love, talk about life. Hey Baru, hey Baru, hey Baru, Baru anaandika kutoka kwa roho, basi njoo uketi tusome na wewe. Baru anaandika kutoka kwa roho, basi njoo uketi tusome na wewe. Ni barua tu tararua tu, ni barua tu tararua. Nimechoka na maisha, nimechoka. Somebody call 911. Maisha imenifika, maisha imenifanya kama chizi, nahisi nitakuwa kama fala, nahisi nimechizi, nahisi nitakuwa kama fala. Haya maisha tu, haya maisha tu, maisha marizika.
This is Black Hot Fire Radio, media of the 21st century.
Talk about love, talk about life, talk about anything you wanna talk about. Ni maisha imefika, maisha chizisha, maisha talk about love, talk about life, talk about anything you wanna talk about. Talk about love, talk about life, talk about anything you wanna talk about. Talk about love, talk about life.
This is Black Hot Fire Radio, media of the 21st century.
Sauti ya subi, sauti ni yangu, maisha ni yangu.
Definitely Maisha ni Yangu, and of course the title of the jam, Barua by the one and only Subi. And some time back we did get to interview this amazing lady. Some time back we did get to interview this amazing lady. I'm talking about Subi the artist. And for those who do not get to understand Swahili, the word, or rather the term, Barua basically means letter. So this is a letter to the beloved person, and it is more like a breakup letter, and that is what she is saying in her song, that it is just a letter. She can eventually get to tear that letter up. It is quite a very emotional a song, and that is why earlier on when I started the show, I had talked about you channeling your mind to the positive directions, because anything that you get to feed your mind in terms of taking it to the negative side, you are going to really, really mess yourself up. Karibuni sana, the Calmie African Diary Show, right here on the Black Hot Fire Network, media for the 21st century. And I just want to remind us of what I was talking about yesterday. Funny thing, I couldn't be able to share the images with you yesterday, but this is in regards to the situation in Somalia. Let me just share this so that you can all get to familiarize yourself with what I was talking about. All right, this is in Somalia. I was talking about the situation in Somalia, whereby people are selling money on the street, whereby people are selling the Somalian, of course, the Somalians, of course, selling their currency on the street. And it is just something so disturbing that you do have one African country that has been fighting from time to time, and there is basically no stability in that. There's no stability in terms of the Somalian government, and as a result, even the currency has basically lost its meaning. It is quite disturbing that you get to go through this. And let me just share the images with the family so that you can see what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. This is in Somalia, and I want to talk about the effect of poverty, the effect of one currency losing its value. And this is an African currency, and right now they are selling selling their money. They are selling their money on the streets, because they believe that they are actually selling the Somalian currency to the streets, because they believe that their money has lost value, and they are exchanging it with a dollar. And the worst thing is that $1 is equivalent to 6,000 Somalian shillings. I mean, how messed up is Somalia? This is some of the images. This is what I was talking about. That instead of going to the market and getting to find a vendor selling food stuff and so on, in Somalia you get to find vendors selling money in bulk. poverty has highly contributed, of course, in Somalia. The issue with insecurities also, their value has just, I mean, their currency has really gone down the drain. At Keith, hello Keith.
Good morning, Cammy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning to you too.
Well, you're talking about Somalia. It means the devaluation of the currency. So the
Yes,
currency has
yes.
been devaluated. So we're talking about um, users always dealing with some kind of Western manipulation.
Mhm.
Somalia sadly never been war torn for generations because it was rich in some excuse me, it's rich in some minerals that that the Europeans wanted. So it's been destabilized ever since. Come on, guy, go ahead and go. Sorry about that. I'm flashing my blinkers at this guy to go ahead and turn. Come on, let's go. Get out the way. Mm. So it's so now the people are being pushed into more and more poverty. That's why you got a big Somali community in Kenya and really around the world. Somali community also here in America as well. Uh, the roots usually focused in the Minnesota area,
Mhm.
Minneapolis, Minnesota, where they sent the Somalians at. So they focused up in that community. Um, Somalia is a failed state. It's been completely destroyed. It's unsafe. It's impoverished with warlords. It's so it means that the joke with Africa, since it's become so weak
Mhm.
and so idiotic and so backwards,
Mhm.
whenever you get minerals, you're going to have war tone scenarios. So sadly enough, you know, there were a lot of minerals found in Somalia, so they're going to cause destabilization there, and that's a sad fact. So when Joby, I was listening to Joby show. Joby thinks, oh, these people practice witchcraft. Oh my God, Joby, Joby, your traditions. I mean, most of them don't know what they're doing anymore. They scared you
Mhm.
against your own traditions, calling it witch. White people told you it's witchcraft. There's no such thing as witchcraft. What white people told you. So you've abandoned your own traditions. They said, these people practice witchcraft, Cammy. It's the witchcraft they're doing. They're not going with Allah and Jesus. But
That's correct.
so when you've now
Mhm.
when you turn your back on your own tradition, your own culture, and you're disjointed, you're going to have problems like this. So Somalia, because you see Somalians are able to be successful because they're successful in Kenya, correct?
Yeah, they actually are true. They are very successful businessmen and women in Kenya who are Somalis, and they are doing extremely
So
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 good. That place that is called Isli, we do
so
have a lot of them actually. Mhm.
yeah, so there's a lot of them. So why are they not able to do the same in Somalia? Because the country was torn apart by the Europeans because there were things in Somalia that they wanted, and probably after colonialism they weren't going to be puppets. So if you're not going to be a puppet, I'm going to destroy your economics. I'm going to have you war torn. I'm going to put tribalism in there, have you fight one another. Because Joby said, "Oh, these people, Joby, 2,000 people do not make it people. You guys keep saying, oh, these people
Exactly.
try. That's what that's what white people gave you. You can't say these
Mhm.
are kikuyu people. These people. 2 and 3,000 people does not make a people. You got to
Mhm.
stop saying that. But that's the Europeans enforce that nonsense. That's why during an election, the Kenyans almost go to war every time there's a goofy
Yeah.
election.
Mhm.
They think they're different people. You're not different people. The
I
Kikuyu
agree.
people. How many people is that? Oh, that's about 20,000 people. That's not a
Mhm.
people. But anyway.
I agree with you, Keith. And thank you for your views regarding that. And Keith, before we took a short break earlier on. I had asked the family. There's this fact that I did get to stumble upon. I do understand you have been talking about hurricanes and so on, but there's this fact that is saying that the true meaning of the word hurricane is the spirit of an African woman who has been stolen, beaten, raped,
Yes,
murdered, and thrown overboard. How true is
yes.
that?
That's actually true. That's why they say the hurricanes first only
Mhm,
went from Africa to the Americas. As I said, that was the revenge of the African woman. That's why,
mhm.
since you don't, since it's like when Joby doesn't understand how the actual world works. Pull this up for me, Cammy, real quick on your thing. Put up the seven universal laws. See, when you don't know, and these are African, and this is how the world actually works. Seven universal laws.
Mhm.
You don't know these laws no more. You don't understand how reality works. You follow some called the Ten Commandments. Thou should not eat a bologna sandwich in your car while butt naked. Whatever. These so
Mhm.
as you put it up, let me explain. Okay, so your first law is mentalism, right?
Yes.
The world is mental, right? So, but I always say that the black woman's mind is messed up, and that's dangerous to the world because the black woman vibrates. You'll see the laws. The black woman vibrates the highest, Cammy.
Mhm.
Since the law is mental, if her mind is messed up, she's going to perpetuate things that are not real and things that are not conducive to harmony within the world. I'm gonna get back to your hurricane question. This ties
Yeah.
into that, but you
Mhm,
got to know this and understand this is African, Cammy. African is
mhm,
what's real, which Joby calls witchcraft. Um,
mhm.
um, uh, so if the black woman's mind, like a Serena Williams who now bleached herself looking crazy, the African woman's
Mhm.
mind is messed up. It means the world is going to be destabilized. It's going to be messed up. That's why it's always an attack on the black woman's mind, always an attack on her confidence, attack on whether she's beautiful. Is an attack why she's now in a church worshiping a cracker who ain't never lived, never existed. So, um, and then the second law would be the law of vibration, frequency. Everything vibrates. So the black woman vibrates the highest. She vibrates. So when you vibrate, so when you say, so when Joby calls witchcraft, African knew things vibrated and things were in different dimensions. Let's say you got a radio, Cammy, and radios have different frequencies. So you turn your dial to another channel. That's a different frequency. You can't hear the other channel because you changed the channel to another frequency. But
True.
sometimes another frequency can bleed into the frequency that you're listening to. Is it? Oh man, I hear another radio station coming through my channel. That's how the universe actually works. Different frequencies. So when you vibrate on a different frequency, you go to a different dimension. So when you think things are ghosts and people die, there's no such thing as death. You've been told lies. It's something another frequency that you cannot see into that frequency because you don't vibrate at that frequency. So the
Wow.
thing
Mhm.
with the hurricane is saying that they stole so many African children, people. I mean, children. I'm just giving a nomenclature of women, men, children. My family, 600 years ago, coming out of the Angola, Congo region of Africa, were stolen and sent into slavery. So there's an African spirit. The woman vibrating the highest, she's going to be the one that enacts revenge. So that caused unstabling in the what you would call the unseen realm, which Joby calls witchcraft. Understand how the world works? Witchcraft. White man has destroyed our mind.
And
So
that's
there's
sorry,
an
and
angry
that's,
African. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cammy.
no, no, no. I was just commenting. Go on. I was just commenting that as a result, when Joby keeps calling it a witchcraft, she'll keep on moving away from it.
Yeah, but she doesn't know. She doesn't know her own African history, and that's sad. So you have an African. Everything's energy. So,
Mhm.
like I said, when you understand energy, frequency, everything's energy. Your energy, Cammy. You vibrate. Reason why you're black. Your blackness is God. That's why you. That's why when you come back to this planet, you're black. That's black is not a color. It's a frequency. So, okay. So I'm trying to make you guys understand, explain it easy. I don't want to go into science. A lot of you guys, I'll lose you guys. So, okay, you being a woman, Calmie, a black woman, that means that you're XX, right? The woman is
Yes.
XX, correct?
Yeah.
The man is XY. So the man is not as dominant as the woman because he's only XY. He's missing a chromosome. That's why I said the black woman vibrates higher because she's double X. The man is only XY. So that means there's another chromosome missing to make the man XX. So you have a untapped energy that's been violated that causes hurricanes to go from the African coast to America, to the Caribbean, to tear up shit. Because it's unsatisfied. It's angry. It's been violated. So that's why I showed you when you go from the African continent to Africa, from Africa to America, it's feminine energy. It goes counterclockwise. I try to explain. Masculine energy is clockwise. Feminine energy is counterclockwise. So when it does leave the African coast, it's counterclockwise. It's actually feminine energy, Calmie. That's real. It's feminine. It's a feminine energy hurricane to cause havoc, damage, destruction. And it's feminine because it's going counterclockwise. So these so it's an unquenched spirit, excuse me, hasn't been made whole, hasn't been made right. There's things in the unseen realm that you call unseen. It's not unseen. They're in different dimensions. Things vibrate on different frequencies. So when you look at so please, Calmie, do a favor, read the 7 laws of universe, African laws, which are the world laws.
Wow, that is some knowledge there, Keith. I think.
Might be me.
Keith, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Keith?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you're breaking a little bit, but I cannot hear you. All right, I'm saying that is some knowledge there.
Yeah, Joey's eyes are firmly shut because she's been, yeah, I hear.
All right, I think Keith has an issue with his connectivity, but then again, that is Keith has actually explained it more than I could have explained in terms of the hurricane, and I believe we have both learned something there because, like I told you, all that we got to do here on the Blackout Fire Network is that every day is definitely a learning experience for all of us. And moving on to the main topic of the day. Remember, we were talking about that is in terms of history. We always get to talk about history on Wednesdays, and today being on a Wednesday, we are not looking, or rather we are not closing, or rather shutting that one blind eye away from history. And I want to talk about one traditional brew. We have, I think, talked about it some time back here. And this traditional brew, I used to hear it in different occasions, occasions like a marriage ceremony, occasions like the initiation of the boys, occasions like, celebrating life, maybe the birth of a child, maybe the death of a beloved one. This is one common brew that you wouldn't miss in the traditional Kenyan. As much as we do have now, do I call them modern brews? Let me just call them modern brews. But as much as we do have modern brews, this drink has been here with us for the longest time. And at some point, it was regarded to be an illegal product in the country. So That is why in some places, if you go to find a vendor, they'll get to arrest you if you get to drink it in public. But I think there has been a lot of debate because of the preparation, the hygiene surrounding it, and as a result, I think the government is slowly, like hasn't done a little bit in terms of the harsh measures that it has been putting towards this commodity. Let me just share with you what I'm talking about. And I love for a fact, when African products get, to find recognition outside Africa, in that we get to remind, our brothers and sisters who are outside Africa, we get to remind them of the fact, you get to remind them of the fact that we get to remind them of the fact that this is a commodity that you can't get to enjoy anywhere else. So if you take a look at this, I just love the branding from the first place. This is now it has been, it is, they say that a product actually gets to sell in terms of branding, in terms of the good PR that you have given it, because if you are in business and you haven't really taken your time to give it a lot of the good type of publicity, then definitely it is not going to sell. But I can assure you one thing for sure, that this is some African recipe that has been passed down from generation to generation, that irrespective of the number of years, irrespective of the number of times that different people have tried to copy it, no one is really going to do it the African way. And of course, this guy has, it's all about being a business oriented, and he has changed the name to sound like Muratelia. Muratelia is it's more like, it doesn't sound African, but then again, the original name is Muratina. Talk about getting to change a little bit of the name, but the name is called Muratina. And it is now highly selling in countries like the UK. People are actually getting to enjoy it. Personally, I've ever tried it on one occasion. I think we call it Aurora Show in Kikuyu. Aurora Show is just an occasion whereby you're going to celebrate the relationship between how do I get to put it? You're going to celebrate, of course, the relationships of two couples, and this is the time that you get to visit their homes, the different relatives. You get to celebrate. Maybe it is a bride price and things like that. That is when I got to enjoy it, and it is something that you wouldn't feel bad enjoying. It does not get to give you hangover. It is sweet. It is just on another level, and it is just tradition, and also it is hygiene. So I love for a fact that this has gone all the way to the UK, and I love to share with you, the original plan. I mean, the original plant that is making, that is the Muratina. This is actually the plant. I hope you have you even interacted with this? But this is the plant. It is extracted from this plant. It is known as the sausage tree plant, and this is the plant. And it does not only get to make that drink, but it also has a lot of course values, in that if you are into this business, for example, for those who are in the diaspora, most people get to believe in traditional medicines. I actually do have relatives who would rather not go to the hospital, but go visit that herbalist, because they believe that their medicine is working. And definitely, I have seen them actually get to heal from that. So one thing about this sausage tree, not only does it get to make that liquor, but it is also used, it has actually been known to have some antioxidant activities in it, so you can get to also use this. And I just hope that for a fact that I just hope that different governments will get to reconsider this, because this is some booming business. If you can get to have the market for this, if you can get to have the market for this and get to sell it abroad, I can imagine the number of the number of billions that we are going to make as a country, because the pulp of the fruit, it's fibrous, so it actually contains many seeds, and these seeds are actually used by traditional healers for treating skin ailments. Most of the time, you have it is very much common for you to have a condition with your skin. So you get to move from one skin dermatologist to another skin dermatologist. Perhaps you get to buy extremely expensive products and they do not get to work on you. But if you get to use this plant all day from Africa, and that is what I've been talking about, the originality of some of the African products, you get to really rush to the modern medicines. And I can attest for a fact that there are some people who have been having the issue with their skin. They have gone even for surgeries, it is still not working. They have visited even a renowned skin dermatologist, it is still not working. But for some people, they've just tried it, the traditional way, and it has worked for them. So it is used by traditional healers for treating skin ailments. Boils, boils are very much common at times, they do get to happen. Fungal infections. Wow, they're also used to treat the likes of a ringworm, so it has actually a lot of uses, and also for internal ailments, for example, such as tapeworm, such as diabetes, such as malaria, such as having a hemorrhage, toothache, pneumonia. They actually has a lot of uses that you can get to use these plants. So not only does it get to be used to make alcohol, you have seen that if you are maybe trying this business, you can perhaps be getting to like import these products from Africa, maybe ship them from Africa, because they can easily be dried. You can get to ship them from Africa, get to take them abroad, get to even sell them. This is actually a business opportunity. This is actually a business opportunity because it is all natural, and most of the people nowadays, they are going as organic as possible. Let me just get to share with you a video. And in terms of the Muratina drink, remember, this is a drink that was used, or rather drunk. It was taken by, of course, our great grandmothers and so on. The recipe has never changed. The recipe has still been the same, and I love how tradition has been passed from one community to another, and this is just how it is. But right now, it has been taken to the UK, but we also do have it being prepared the natural we do have it being prepared the natural way. And in terms of the branding, you might think that this is more something like a moet. It looks actually more like a champagne, but yes, you can get to make it you can get take it on another level. This is part of how it looks like, and I just love it. And I love how they have not forgotten our culture as much as in terms of the branding. It looks more like the likes of a moet. It's more like champagne. They have, let me, on where I have pointed the cursor, they have written it in Swahili: mvinyo bora wa asali. Let me repeat this. Mvinyo is a Swahili terminology that basically means a drink. Mvinyo bora wa asali. Bora is good, and asali is definitely honey. So you can't get to mix some those the ingredients from the sausage tree with some little bit of honey, and there you definitely have of course there you definitely have they definitely do have of course your drink to enjoy. Let me just get to look for the video and get to share with the family. But I love how this has evolved. I love how we are still getting to emulate some of the practices that were passed down to us, and we are still doing them in modernity. Right now, if you ask someone in the streets that would you take Muratina, they'll be like, they'll actually pretend that they do not know it. They'll actually pretend that they have no idea what it is. They rather want to familiarize themselves with the likes of they rather want to familiarize themselves with the likes of Bel Air, with the likes of all these posh drinks, of course, that have not been brewed maybe from Africa. They'll just want not to be associated with something traditional. But I love how tradition has evolved, and many people are really doing their best to make sure that they are taking it. Let me just get to share this with the family in terms of the brew. This is now in terms but he gets to speak in Kikuyu. But let me just get another one in of course in a different language. But I don't know your views regarding this. Will you get to try? Will you get to try something that has been locally brewed? I'm not talking about those guys who get to steal the likes of, I think, ethanol and get to mix this ethanol, and as a result, you end up getting blind, or rather going blind. I'm not talking about. That, but I'm talking about, something local, something that has been passed down from one generation to another. Would you rather try it? I think I'll try it, considering that it has no side effects to me. Let me just get to share this, because I think there's some sweetness when you get to try something local, when you try to try something that has been passed from generation to generation. Because you've had guys, actually, you had guys try some Jack Daniels, you've had guys try, different products. I'm not saying that liquor that is not traditional made that it has some side effects, but we have seen guys who have tried it, and some of these products are made over the counter, and you just end up getting messed up. But this is just a recipe of the Muratina. You can see from the image, even a company has been opened, which means that some seriousness is taking in terms, is going on in terms of this. And I just do hope that our Kenyan government, will get to do something to boost this, because this is a booming business for Kenya. We have been talking about the likes of Mira, or rather known as a cat. And even back then, cat didn't get to find a lot of popularity. But after the great mobilization by the people, some people getting to see that this is actually a cash crop. It actually turned into a cash crop. So you can see that a lot of farmers have been able to take their children to school. They have been able to do a lot of things for their families, due to the types of mira and cat, because mira, also known as cat, is exported outside the country. So if our also Kenyan government can be able to export this, I think, a product, this let me call it, it is liquor, you can get, of course, to earn great revenue for the country. You can see an industry has already been made. Let me just get to play this a little bit. This is the preparation of the drink. And it's all organic. There's no chemicals, no additives that are being added to this. And like I've told you, it is a recipe that has been passed down from generation to generation. That is honey. And now that is the dried sausage tree. There you have, you've seen the preparation regarding this traditional brew. It is all simple, and of course no additives have been added to this. And I love for a fact, how that everything is just taken at the simple way, as opposed to some of what you get to, you spend a lot of money, and you end up having the likes of liver cirrhosis. You end up having a lot of diseases just because of the chemicals that have been induced into this drink. But I want to also take us back and remind us for a fact that our tradition was never meant to bring us down. Our tradition was for the better. Our tradition was meant, to keep on educating from one generation to another, because at the end of the day, our elders, or rather let me say of course our elders, they did not want it to be forgotten. And this is some of the part of the tradition that we do have. I'm not only talking about the making of, or rather the brewing of liquor, but you also do have still some good traditions that have been passed on from one generation to another, and we still get to practice them. And you have at that is at Joel, you said taken from the cedar wood, a furnace, eyes like red amber jewel, and the feet of the red clay, powder scented with aromatic resins. Who knew her before her flesh had formed bonds, beloved above angels? Okay, that is the one and only Jewel. Thank you for your feedback. But we are talking about how tradition has been passed. Of course, we do have different traditions that have been passed, and one thing that I want to insist on is that our government can do something in terms of taking these of course in terms of taking these different tradition. It could be traditional cuisines, it could be traditional beverages and so on abroad. I mean, getting to put a lot of it can be able to put a lot of in terms of machine work, in terms of packaging, in terms of getting the right types of market. And trust me, at the end of the day, people will be able to like get to enjoy different traditions. People will be able to like get to even earn a living from this. For example, in South Africa, we do have the likes of umkomboti. We do have there's some different types of alcohol in different community. For example, the amarula, we all do know about the amarula fruit, which is it actually gets to grow in the forest. And there was a time I was watching a documentary on some elephants feeding on the amarula fruits. And a few minutes later, these elephants are definitely staggering. So, of course, different African countries have their own types of, a liquor that they can get to, brew. But I love for a fact, in different African governments, can come about, get to brand these traditional brews, get to sell it all over the world, then their country is definitely going to benefit from that. We also do have the likes of palm wine from Nigeria. We do have the likes of Nazi here in Kenya, in the coastal region. I mean, if you actually get to like go from one community to another, you are definitely going to enjoy some unique cuisine there. Let's take a short musical break, and when we'll be back, we'll be able to wind up the show. But it has been all about taking the traditional, that is the African traditional beverages on a higher chance. That is what it has been all about. We are, of course, almost running the show, but let us get to enjoy some little bit of music before you do get to end up the show. Remember, this is the Calmie African Diary Show, and we get to jam to more music right here on the Black Fire Network, media for the 21st century. And of course, the title of the jam that we are almost going to play is Social Media by the one and only Paul Raj, all the way from Zambia. And of course, social media has actually played both a constructive and a destructive, of course, a part in terms of our life. So it depends on how you actually get to use these social media. Let's get to enjoy some little bit of Paul Raj before you do get to end up the show. Remember, it has been all about, trying out a traditional, of course, products and getting to take them to another level. Because at the end of the day, I do understand that people are trying their best to be as organic as possible.
Exclusive to PSC Production. media, waliondongera ine nyumba yanga. Social media, waliondongera ine chikwati changa. Nalenga kupasa attention, ikuli madamu. Nae madamu, ndiri kunyesha ndiyo. Iwe social media, waliondongera ine nyumba yanga. Social media, waliondongera ine chikwati changa. Jamii, yombo ya hali, matatizo. Koma social media, wononga watu mwandishua. Koma social media, wononga leo mwandishua. Koma social media, wononga mukazi wakashua. Na kusambaza samba, kama kaiwa mwandishua. Social media, wononga mwandi watujua. Social media, social media, wonongera ine nyumba yanga. Social media, wonongera ine chikwati changa. Nalenga kupasa attention, ikuli madamu. Nae madamu, ndiri kunyesha ndiyo. Iwe social media, wonongera ine nyumba yanga. Social media, wonongera ine chikwati changa. Jamii, yombo ya hali, matatizo. Aparoma simu yuma inasira. Ulipende kushimika kona vitu venzeru. Digani za chape sirufi. Manari fontini, lelo ala fifitini. Iwe social media, oluga watu, waliondongera bana. Oluga ziko ya iwe social media, waliondongera ine nyumba yanga.
Welcome back to the Calmie African Diary Show, and you are tuning to the Blackwood Fire Network, media for the 21st century. And of course, they say that everything that, of course, has some positivity definitely does have some negativity. I'm not saying that you should go from one house to another trying some traditional brew. Some of these vendors actually get to use chemicals on them, but then again, you really need, to be cautious for your sauce. You also need at some time get to take a look at the preparation, because some people's agenda, you never know, because at the same time you've had people come about with their own recipes. Some people have ended up going blind. Some people have ended up dying in the process. So yes, also you need to be extremely cautious. So I think one role that the government should play in terms of ensuring that our tradition is kept rich, one role that the government should ensure in terms of making sure that this tradition, as much as it's passed from one generation to another, that's a lot of precautions have highly been taken. I really want to appreciate everyone who has tuned into the show. We do have other shows coming as well a few minutes from now, but I want to appreciate at Joel, for funny reasons, I've just been unable to read the entire name, but then again, I'll get to practice it offline. But Joel, thank you so much. To all who are watching the show, I really, really appreciate you for keeping it at the Blackwood Fire Network media for the 21st century. And I also love to appreciate Kit for providing this platform, because every day has indeed been a learning, of course, experience. And also another thing, Kit has highly, of course, he has been able, to answer my question in terms of the hurricane. So there you go. Remember, it is all about learning a new knowledge. It is all about learning things fresh from the motherland, and also get to learn about things that do get to affect us, and we do get to look for a solution regarding the same thing. And I see you've said, Joel, you said I'd rather be drinking such a traditional brew rather than the Neanderthal manufacturer drinks containing the blood of aborted human baby fetus, which is now used. What the heck was? I think people are really doing the worst out here. Whew, I didn't know that, Joel, but people are really doing out the worst here. People are up to no. I really got disturbed for a moment. People are really doing the worst out here. People are really not up to no good. And that is why I've told you that, some people rather want to be associated with, in quotes, modern drinks, because they believe that they might get to be associated with the likes of Jamie, with the likes of just different, drinks. Then you are living the eat life that some people rather not take a look at the preparation measures. You've seen some of these drinks mess up. People have seen, there's just been a lot of issues surrounding this. But then again, it is all about how you take a look at the preparations that are being made, because some people are indeed up to no good. So always be careful to what you get to drink, and also try the most, as much as perhaps you might have not been raised from your own homeland. You can take a look at the history of the people, because I believe you as an adult, you have every right to teach yourself, to remind yourself of where you are coming from. Art Keith, you're back.
Yeah,
Can you?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Um, I know you were asking about the hurricane situation.
Yes.
Um, so do me a favor, and before you get out of there, pull up an image of a
Mm-hmm.
hurricane
Mm-hmm.
hitting, the images of hurricanes hitting the United States. And so we're going to show you that state. So we're going to prove what you're saying about a feminine energy.
Mm-hmm.
Feminine. So understand, 500-600 years ago, Africa was South, well, Western Africa, Southwest Africa, under
Mm-hmm.
security. Black men and women would be tortured, dragged away from their homes, and enslaved. So energy, so all this energy that the wailing out, the crying, the
Mm-hmm.
the torture. So if you look at those hurricane images, Cammy, they're going
Yes.
counterclockwise. As I taught you, counterclockwise is feminine energy. Clockwise is masculine. So if you understand the laws of the universe, how things actually work, that's why in your car, when you look in the battery, that's what a positive and a negative pole.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not really positive but negative. It's feminine and masculine energy. So this is so all these hurricanes hit the United States and also the Caribbean as a way of this African uh, 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 female energy not being quenched from all the
Mm-hmm.
pain and suffering and torture. And so that causes that energy to have to be dispersed somehow, some way. And so, let's say you are a female. You are the feminine energy of God, of the all. When
Mm-hmm.
you and your boyfriend or fiance, him being masculine, this is why homosexuality is against the all. When you guys came together with feminine and masculine energy, that created a light. That's why you're pregnant. That's why two female energies can't create a light and two masculine energies cannot create a light because it is an
Mm-hmm.
abomination of the all.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's against creation. You must have feminine and masculine energy to create light. That's why, like I said, in your car, open up the hood, you see the battery has a negative and a positive spark. The white man is called it negative positive. It's really feminine and masculine. The negative would be the feminine, and the positive would be the man, the masculine. Without that positive and negative spark coming together, you can't have light. The car can't go. Car cannot charge itself.
Mm-hmm.
This is how the universe works. So when I was giving you the 7 universal laws, that's in nature. That's in science. And so with Joby's calling witchcraft,
Mm-hmm.
I know Africans have devolved into nonsense. You know, what you see is not witch. It might be somebody doing some nutty ritual that's not real. But what she calls witchcraft, it's called spirituality. That's what's actually real. That's how the universe works. That's why you see it in nature. That's why I'm giving you a picture of a hurricane, and that's a feminine hurricane because it's going counterclockwise. That's the energy of a woman there, Cammy, destroying shit in the Western Hemisphere because of the pain and suffering of thousands, millions of African women who were torn away from their homes in Africa,
Mhm.
coming to South America, the Caribbean, and North America. So that caused an energy that must be dispersed. So if you don't, when you don't understand African spirituality, African science, you don't know what you're looking at. And so when you read those parables, they don't make sense to you. That's an African woman, it's African female energy. So before you do me one more favor, before you got it, pull up the 7 laws of the universe again, Cam. As African people, we must know these. We must learn these real laws again.
Mhm.
So when I told you, African mind of the woman is so very precious. So you got African women now, Cammy.
Yes.
First law is mentalism. Now worshiping white men. So now the African woman, not knowing she's keeping white people in power because she vibrates the highest, Cammy. You vibrate the highest. So if you go into a church and now you're putting all your vibration, your energy, like when Joby says, we must have positive energy. She doesn't
Yeah.
know that's African. And you must have positive energy. Energy just means that's the way the universe works. So you want positive energy, right?
Yeah.
African woman is putting all her mental. See if you can pull up those images. Not the images. Just pull up 7 universal laws for me, Cam. Not that. Yeah, we see what the destruction does. Go to Google. Go back and say the 7 universal laws for me.
Okay. Here they
Okay,
are.
now read them to me, Cammy, please.
Okay, we do have
You,
the law of attraction or vibration, the law of
yes.
perpetual transmutation, the law of
Yep.
rhythm, the law of relativity, the law of
Yep.
polarity, the law of
Yep.
cause and effect, the
Cause and
law of
effect.
gender, yes, and the law of
Gender.
gender.
Yes. So
Pardon?
gender means female and masculine. That's why homosexuality is an abomination to the real all, not the fake Jesus or the fake Allah, to the real
Mhm,
all. Universal law. Gender is a law, Cammy.
mhm,
Female and masculine energy is a law. Period.
mhm,
These are laws. Not your goofy commandments. These are laws. So, and we were talking about the law of correspondence, as above, so below. I mean,
mhm,
since you can't really see in other dimensions because you're caught into this third dimension, but the law of correspondence say the same thing in this dimension is happening to other dimensions, either higher than you or lower than you in
mhm,
vibration. So
mhm,
that's why when I would say good vibrations, everything vibrates, everything moves. And then the laws of rhythm. When I say you go to sleep, that you being black, Cammy, and me being black, we are attached to the rhythms of the universe. So we become super smart and we become super stupid. But we right now, black people are super stupid. That's the rhythms of the universe. We go up and we go down. We go up and down because we're attached to the rhythms of the universe.
mhm,
So when we learn this, I say, okay, black people go to sleep. That's why we're so goddamn stupid. We go through a cosmic sleep and then we start to wake up. So what's happening now, Cam, you got a rhythm going back in the other direction. Black people now is going to start becoming real smart again. So now white people and other people that are not organic people are saying we must wipe out these black people now because they're going to start to rise back to the top. They're going to become super smart as they come back being reborn. So that's the reason why they're trying to wipe us out now with these fake viruses and this pandemic. Because this is what the elite do. These are the laws of the universe, Cameron. This is how the world works. So they displaced your real laws and giving you lies with the 10 Commandments and you worshiping this white cracker who ain't never lived. And since the first law is mentalism, the black woman vibrating the highest, when her mind is messed up, the world is messed up. She's now giving white people power because she believes white people are her God. So
That
that's
is true.
why you must give the black child, the black girl child, very, you must nurture that black woman, that black child, you must nurture her mind. You must teach her truth. She must know truth. She can't know religions and belief. She must know knowledge, not belief. Because the African woman mind is the most important mind on the planet. That's why I say that, Calmie. Not that I say, oh, African mind, African woman's great, she's great. No, through science, I know this to be a fact. So that's it, Calmie. That's all I wanted to tell you, teach you that.
Uh,
So you'll know
Thank you.
how the
Uh-huh.
world works.
Thank you so much for that, Keith, for that knowledge. And of course, it is good to always make sure that you get to pass this knowledge from one generation to another. Because I understand for a fact that our parents, most of them, they use the knowledge that was passed to them, but instead of passing it to us, they wanted to embrace modernity. They wanted to embrace a change,
Well,
and
they
as a
had no
result,
choice. But I don't know. I don't know, Cammy. A lot of the Africans, when the white man came in, he said, "Worship me or die." So a
yes,
lot of them have a choice. So you had no choice but to worship Allah. And like Dr. Mumby said, which is correct, the elder generation, the ones that start dying, they couldn't share this information because you go back and run and tell the white man, like Joe,
mhm,
go, hey, they're teaching me white crap, white daddy, they're teaching me witchcraft. And it's not witchcraft, it's actually how the universe works. And you'll go tell your enemy, which the white man's been trying to get this information, he's got a bunch of it, that's what he uses against us, our own knowledge. So you're right. I don't know if you want to call it modernity. It's saying that the Africans, they came and said we must destroy the Africans' mind and we must
yeah,
get them to worship us. So,
mhm,
because their knowledge is the real knowledge. Because that's how the universe, if it doesn't work in nature,
mhm,
you see it's a lie. Christianity's a lie. Islam is a lie. Women are not supposed to be wrapped up like fucking mummies. When you walk around, where you're in Africa, whatever, you got that Islamic shit, and black women wrap the fuck all up in that goopy ass outfit. That's a law. That goes against the laws of nature. You are black. You're supposed to be touched by the sun. White people put that shit on because when they came to Africa, they couldn't deal with the sun, so they wrapped up in layers.
mhm,
You're supposed to be in the sun because that's the way God talks to you through your melanin, Cammy. Your melanin is so very important. Your blackness is how the all talks to you through the sun. That's why you're supposed to eat vegetables because the sun raises vegetables and fruits. So when you're eating fresh vegetables, you're getting information from God. That's why white people now coming up putting GMOs. Hey, we got to cut out this information from these black people knowing information from God. Why would you make a fake fruit when you can grow a real one? Why would you make fake vegetables and fake meat and fake all
mhm.
the, because they're non-organic. That's why. You are organic and you are a part of God. So Serena Williams not knowing this information. I'm God. White people are my God. Let me bleach myself. Uh,
Uh-huh.
not, not knowing your divinity, your melanin is your divinity. You don't
True.
know what. So when Spikes did that show, you guys left a couple of days ago, showing what melanin is, not knowing. You got to know what melanin is. Your
Mhm.
blackness is your birthright, is your divinity.
True.
People are jealous that you're black. That's you got to understand they're jealous of your blackness. That's why they put suntan lotions and shit on and be out there
Yeah.
trying to suntan and because they're trying to get black.
And funny thing, on Africans, they get to buy these sunscreen products, not knowing that to them it looks fancy. To them it looks fancy that they get to use the sunscreen products. But well,
Yeah,
they have not
why would you
learned, right?
use sunscreen lotion? That's what white people told you. You're black. You're you're black. Your blackness is your sunscreen, Cammy. You're not supposed to put none of that shit on you. Those chemicals are not supposed to be in your beautiful black skin. That's the way the all dialogues with you through your skin, through your blackness. Your melanin is more than just your skin. It's throughout your whole body. It would makes you run faster.
Mhm.
It makes you think faster because that's your direct connection to God. You think it's an accident when you turn on Olympics? Everybody out there winning gold medals are black people. But you think, oh, that's a different person. No, they're African like you. I don't care if they're fucking from Jamaica, Haiti, America, South America. Those are Africans. So why do you think all the Africans win every damn thing? Because
I don't
there's
know.
no.
Mhm.
Well, okay, Kevin, let me ask you this question. When you look at let's say just a track and field event, where you got runners out there, either female runners run against other females, or males run against males, who wins? Who wins? The black
Most
woman or the black man?
exactly. Most of the time, I
Have you
think it's
seen?
the black woman.
It's all yeah. But if you have a woman, because you're not allowed in the Olympics a man to run against a woman against a man. It's always women against women and men against men, right? But if you
Mhm.
see, okay, do this when we got here. Say who's the fastest? Put us up images. So images. I don't know who she is, but I'm gonna go tell you it's a black woman. I don't know who it is. Say who is the fastest woman on earth? The images are the fastest woman on earth. I'm gonna take a guess. She's black. I don't know who it is, but I bet she's black.
Most of the time, I think Africans win because of the weather. For example, in Eldoret, Kenya, because of the weather. You are right, Keith. You won yourself a gold medal. Let me
It's,
just share.
it's
Let
nothing
me
with the
just-
weather. You all know. I don't think that black woman's from Africa. Who is she? Who's right now? And if I go
She
10 years ago,
goes.
won't be her. It'd be another black woman. Who is she?
She goes
Who
by the
is she,
name
Kevin?
Jessie Combs. That is what they're saying. Jessie Combs. Let me get
All
this.
right, where's she from? Where's she from?
All
Is she from
right.
Jamaica, America, Africa? I just know she's black. I already knew that because you don't know because you're melanin. There's no white woman that's ever gonna beat any black woman ever, Cammy. That's not me being racist. That's that you
She
know
could be from.
all the universe. Where's she from?
She could be from Jamaica. She could be from Jamaica. She could be from Jamaica
Okay,
because of the images
okay, she's from
she's wearing
Jamaica.
is Jamaica.
Okay, Jamaican flag. Yeah, okay. She okay, but that's just an African on an island. She's still an African. She's not. I hate to tell you, Coach, it's not the Jamaican people. She's an African woman who was taken to Jamaica as a slave. She's an African woman. Okay, make sure we understand that. I knew she's an African woman. Now, living in Jamaica.
Mhm.
But okay, now she's the fastest woman
Actually,
on the planet.
actually, let me correct something. Let me correct something, Kit.
Right.
On the
Okay.
site it's saying Jessie Combs, but Jessie Combs is right here. It's right here, the one with muscles. But most of these images are flooded, of course, with the black woman from Jamaica, from different Shelly Ann, actually Shelly Ann, from Jamaica.
Okay, well, whoever. I don't know who it is. I just know it's gonna be a black woman. I don't. You go 10 years. Okay, you go 10 years past. It wouldn't be her. Still gonna be another black woman. You can go 20 years. It's gonna be a black woman. You can go 30 years. It's gonna be a black woman. I don't
Mhm.
care what generation it is. They're gonna be black. It's gonna be a black woman. All right, do this, Cammy. Say who was the fastest woman in the world 10 years ago? Let's see who was. Let's say images of the fastest woman on earth 10 years ago. And let me think, Cammy, it's gonna be a black woman.
Most definitely.
Yeah, Yes, I know who it is, but it's gonna be a black woman. And if
It's still
it
bringing,
said it is.
it's still bringing images of Shelly Ann.
But it can't be her 10 years ago. I thought you could. I thought it was her. All right, do me a favor. Tell me who's the fastest woman 20 years ago. Say who's the fastest woman 20 years ago. So we get past her, but it's just we prove it's just another African woman. All right.
All right, these are just images of black women, though. But let
Okay,
me
well, it's
see.
always gonna be a black woman. I want to see who. I just want to see who was. It should say
Yeah, they are
who was the
different
fastest
actually.
woman.
They're
Yeah,
actually different women. They're actually different women. All of them, I think, they are African from the images that is from the images that I'm
of
seeing. They
course,
are women. Yeah.
of course, the Africans. Just like I can go back, who are the fastest men on the planet? The black men. Always gonna be black. So, but you haven't understood that. That's your God genetics, your melanin. So when you fuck up your genetics by dating white people and having these half-breed kids, those half-breed kids don't have your genetics. So now you've made your genetics more animal type, and they're not the same because your genetics are the best. But you don't know that. Even though hate black people, hate your blackness. Oh, I want to be white. I want to be this white person. I want to have kids with this fucking lice infected head and shit. Not knowing that your hair is actually hair. There's this fur that the Jesus you worshiping with that fucked up hair is animal fur, not
Uh-huh.
hair. So ain't no Jesus running no race against nobody black. Not no white man with no fur hair, no blue eyes is winning any race against anybody black who are actually the real gods. But
Most of
African
the time,
doesn't
they're
know.
doping themselves.
Mm. So,
I'm saying most
you
of the
know,
time they're doping themselves.
what's something do what, Cammy? Say it again. I'm sorry.
I'm saying for the white person, most of the time they're doping themselves. They're doping
Yeah, they
themselves
try to
for.
dope. Yeah, yeah, they try to dope themselves because they still want what you got. That's the reason why they push this interracial shit for you to cloud your genetics on an even playing field, Cammy. They can't compete with black people. So it's not just even. It's not just even on a physical level, as run and jump. It's also mental. That's why you must be put in poverty. That's why you must
Uh,
be taught lies.
True.
That's why you
Keith
must
from
not know exactly what's going on. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Thank you.
Cammy.
I'm seeing from the chat room, Joel has said it's this lady, Carmelita Jetta. It's still a black woman. Thank you for that, Joel. This is
Yeah.
the images that I'm finding of Carmelita as the fastest a woman, of course, on earth. All a black, of course.
That's 20 years ago. Is that now?
It could
That's
be
now,
20 years
huh?
ago. Then it could be 20 years
Well, I
ago.
don't
That is
know.
true.
Okay, maybe now. It don't make a difference. I just know they're always gonna be black. I know that. I know that. I know they're always gonna be black, Cammy.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. So that means it's not gonna be an Asian woman. It's not gonna be a Caucasian woman. There was gonna
No.
be a black woman, an African woman, every time. Because you don't know that you are the gods. Sorry, I know it scares black women. It ain't white Jesus, but that's
Uh-huh.
but the fact it shows you in nature. But if but the black woman, you can't tell the black woman that common truth I just showed you. They're in the church worshiping some cracker who ain't never existed. So that lowers the vibrational rate of the planet. When the African woman's mind is so messed up, where she believes in a lie and worships a lie, the world becomes hellish because the world is mental, Cammy. And that the black woman's mind is the most mentally messed up, and she vibrates the highest, which I showed you 7 laws, vibration. So the world is what? Hellish. Because the black woman's mind is hellish and based on lies.
True.
She's in there talking about, oh, Jesus, Lord Jesus, Jesus, help me, save me, Lord Jesus. Well, right? It's a lie. This is a lie. So She creates the hell on the planet because she vibrates the highest. And why she vibrates the highest? Why you see her running that track and field? Why she's first all the time? Because she's the most superior being on the planet, Calmie. That's why. And she's been told she's the lowest. And she believes she's the lowest and
Yes,
the
I
most
believe that
worthless.
actually. Yeah, I'm saying she has believed that one actually. Keith, of course, we do have now to end up the show, but
Yeah,
thank you so much for your
listen,
sentiments. Of course,
shout out to Joby. I hope you're listening, Joby.
she's blushing. I hope she's not going to clap her hands and got to praise the sweet
Uh,
Jesus.
uh,
But
oh no, not sweet Jesus.
but
So much
uh,
love and shout out to Joby. Hope she
thank
learned
you.
something
Yeah,
that she
everyone
is divine. That
exactly.
she is divinity. So much love, family. Much love to Calmie, Joby, Spikes. These
Okay.
lessons are going to come back because you got to learn real
Mhm.
African spirituality, real
Absolutely.
science.
Hmm.
So I want to show you in nature that that's real. So I can go 20, 30 years because I was going to be an African woman. Why? Because she vibrates the highest, dummy. That's why. She's the most important individual on the planet. That's
Hmm.
why. She's been made the
Exactly.
lowest on the planet. So much love, family. We out.
But thank
I'm
you,
out.
thank you so much for Keith. Also, take care, Keith. Get to enjoy the rest of your day, and trust me, family, we have been talking about how every day is indeed a learning experience. I did not know this information until, of course, when Keith got to be on board, and of course, I have really appreciated that every day is a learning experience. Also, at Joel, you have said, look out the Maltese. I believe the Maltese is a breed of a dog. Uh, um, and the Afghan long hair hound, whose genetic DNA hair follicles is proven similarities to the Neanderthal mankind. I'll definitely get to look that one up. Thank you so much for Jewel for your inspirational words, for also your, of course, part of this entire show. It has been all about learning new things. Thank you so much. We'll get to interact on the other show a few minutes from now. My name is Calmie, and this has been the Calmie African Diary Show. And muwe na siku njema. Thank you so much once more.
Social media, ulionongea inajikwati changa, kaleka kupasa attention, ikuli madamu, nae madamu, dili kunyesha ndio, iwe social media, ulionongea ina nyumba yanga, social media, ulionongea inajikwati changa, kijamii, yombo ya hali, ni matatizo, Nipa social media, kutoka Rajalo, nipa social media, mkazi waka wose, alipa social media, wakazi wa pasta wose, alipa social media, fake news yose, ilipa social media, social media, walionongera ina nyumba yanga, social media, walionongera ina chikwati changa, kaleka kupasa attention, ikuli madamu, nae madamu, dili kunyesha ndio, iwe social media, walionongera ina nyumba yanga, social media, walionongera ina chikwati changa, kijamii, yombo ya hali, ni matatizo, iwe social media, walionongera ina nyumba yanga, social media, walionongera ina chikwati changa, kaleka kupasa attention, ikuli madamu, nae madamu, dili kunyesha ndio, iwe